Hey kids, it's Ranger Roger here live at the Fox 25 studios. We're about to do something very different this morning. Now don't worry, there's more Fox 25 Kids Club cartoons coming up very soon in about 10 minutes. Now you might want to run and get your parents because this is something that's going to be very special that you'll want to share with your parents because it's going to be something that you might have some questions about. Right now, we're going to walk over here and meet Kirsten McIntyre, the Fox 25 News Desk. Kirsten and Jack Bowen anchor the 9 o'clock news. Now, Kirsten tells the kids a little bit about what we're going to see today.
Well, Ranger, as you know, something horrible happened 2 years ago today that actually changed Oklahoma forever. That's when someone blew up the A.P. Murrah building, killing 168 people.
Well, Kirsten, there were at least 19 children involved in that accident that were in the daycare center. I had the opportunity to visit several of them and some of the injured children from the YMCA, and it was a sad day.
It really was. And as you know, that's one of the reasons we wanted to keep kids in mind when we covered today's events. And we want to thank you for stopping by. We'll check back in with you just a little bit later. Well, now we're not going to show you any of the pictures from the day of the bombing. We know most of you remember them well, but we are going to honor those who were killed on April 19th, 1995. In all, 168 people died in the bombing. 19 of them were children who were at a daycare center. Another 500 more people were injured. That's why the blast is called the deadliest terrorist act on U.S. soil. Memorial services are now getting underway in downtown Oklahoma City, and that's where we find Fox 25's Jennifer Vickery. She joins us now live. And Jennifer, tell us exactly what is happening right now in downtown.
Kirsten, we are now in the process of observing 168 moments of silence. We'll do that now. They're gone. The sun has risen on an absolutely beautiful morning in downtown Oklahoma City, a time for the family members who lost loved ones in the Murrah building bombing, as well as the community to gather together here. Just after dawn, families began arriving here, bringing flowers, plaques, wreaths, anything, any type of memento that they could leave on the fence to remember their loved ones. Many family members say they'd rather not be here, but they felt like they had to be a part of this. Let me give you an idea of what has been going on here earlier this morning. The colors were posted earlier. Also, the President's wreath was presented by the Marine Corps. Those in attendance then listened to taps. We just finished observing 168 seconds of silence. At this time, the names of each of the 168 victims will be read by local news anchors, including our own Jack Bowen. They are taking the podium now and will be reading the names. As the names are read, family members are expected to come toward the fence to present the memento that they've brought, whether it be a wreath or a flower or a plaque that they will be hanging on the fence. One other interesting note that I want to tell you about is this little bitty tree you see here. We told you last month on the 9 o'clock news about the survivor elm. Today, each one of the family members will be taking home this little seedling that has grown into a small tree that they will be able to plant in their own yard or whatever they choose to do with it to remember their loved one. If you know the story of the survivor elm, it hangs just to the north here of the building, and it's absolutely beautiful elm that at the time had grown into a concrete parking lot and was absolutely surrounded by burning cars 2 years ago today, and it's absolutely flourished since then, and they have taken each of the seedlings off the tree, or many of them, and grown as many trees as they can so that they will go to each person who lost a loved one here. This observance from here, after each of the names are read, that it was expected to take just a little while. After that, the big event today at 10:10, we will finally know, or at least have a good idea of what is actually going to be on this site within the next year or two. At 10:10, the 3 to 5 finalists will be named of all the 600 entrants that they received from all 50 countries, or all 50 states and 23 countries. They will finally show us the finalists of what designs may actually be on the site here. So a very solemn day, very different attitudes, and incidentally, the weather here is so eerily similar to that morning. Very clear, very cool, just a little bit of a breeze out here, but a very beautiful day for a time of reflection for these families. Kirsten.
All right, thank you, Jennifer Baker, reporting live from downtown Oklahoma City. Another interesting note, bombing survivors and families will gather for a picnic later today to thank the rescue workers who've saved lives and spent days searching for others. For now, that wraps up things from the Fox 25 News Desk. We want to thank you so much for joining us this morning. Right now, we're going to be sending it back over to Ranger Roger. And again, Ranger, we want to thank you for being a part of this day, a day that is never easy to remember.
Well, thank you, Kirsten. And we want to thank you at home for sharing this special moment with us here at Fox 25 Kids Club. Now, don't go away. We have more great programming with Fox Kids Club 25 coming up. After this, we'll join Goosebumps in progress. And we want to thank you again. This is Ranger Roger from the Fox 25 News Studios here at Fox 25. Ranger Roger, over and out.